Good morning. I'm going to talk today about the shape and structure of my lifetime, of this lifetime that I'm living. Um, it's something really pretty nifty and cool that I want to share for that reason. Um, it's pretty non-abstract, pretty easy for anyone to follow, so that'll be a nice change. And finally, my making these predictions about the rest of my lifetime, um, of course, is going to um, win me big kudos when it comes true. So, just for having seen it coming. So, basically, I have discerned that my life is going to consist of 49 years, 7 cycles of 7, and I call these septariads. I just coined that, but I think it's really pretty. This isn't something that I'm planning or enforcing for my life to be. It's just the natural shape of my life. So I'm not like gonna kill myself when I'm 49 or anything. That's just the end of my life. Um, now, um, this doesn't make sense to put this here in the speech. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the septariads, even though it's really pretty straightforward. Um, okay, so this is a timeline of my life. Like I said, really simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the weird part is the 6, 7 doubles back instead of going forward. But I'll explain that. So 0 through 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 21. This fourth septaria, the one that has just ended some 2 years ago, that was when I saw the pattern, and it was kind of so loud as to hit me over the head. The end of it was a global event that all sorts of spiritual seekers and enlightened millennials were looking forward to, and I've referred to it as 11-11-11, which is to say November 11th, 2018. The digits of 2018 sum to 11, so that's that. So the end part I could observe, but to connect it to my life personally was really the kicker. It was the fact that my brokenness started exactly 7 years prior to 11-11-11, to the day. My brokenness happened on November 11th, or became permanent November 11th. I was kind of in a half-dead transitional stage for 3 days, but when it kind of finally settled and became irrevocable, it was November 11th of 2011. So, yeah, that's that. Now, okay, so the rest of the video is basically details on the last two septariads, why they have that, what that means, and why they have that switchback. I have to explain, it's part of the fact that I am the youth. That is, well, originally it's a one of the monikers or epithets of Metatron, who's the angel who is the lesser Yahweh, the scribe of God, which I've always known to refer to the thing that keeps the record of all that is, of all that exists, the record that remains and can be consulted about any point in time, whenever it took place. So it's like a recording system. But when I say I'm the youth, I mean a lot more than just that. I have identified as like a agent or an avatar of Metatron. I don't really think that way often or really focus on it anymore, but being the youth, and that's a capital Y, is part of my spiritual function of firstness and new beginnings. I'm the furthest out in the vanguard, the upward, the upspinning part of the transition from age to age, the new part instead of the old part. So I'm taking more words than I would like to say all this, but it just sounds awkward. It would sound just awkward to just lay it on you. So this means I'm eternally the first wavefront of of whatever, but of the pattern. This is the idea. It refers in a very personal way to who I was when I was a child, prepubescently. I called myself a child of the light, and I had a very well integrated and I have thought admirable personality, and in many ways I feel like I've lost who I was before puberty, and I want to go back to that. So and that that characteristic in my life path of returning to what you once were is what indicates the backward motion through time in the end of the last segments of my path. So it's like I'm exiting the same way I came in. I entered life as this thing, and I'm leaving life as the same thing. And you could say using the door I came in with to leave. But I thought that the backtracking, I thought it was actually going to be all 7 cycles. It would be 3 out, one bending back, and then 3 back. But it's not quite that. Okay, so also as a youth, I'm fully abstinent of left-hand path magic, except in matters of sex, which who knows how that's going to turn out. And I am, just as I was as a child, wholly present in the moment and able to think quickly, clearly, and accurately. And disappointingly, I have no magical ability. My the part of me that's capable of that won't be attached to me anymore. So, excuse me. Okay, so so now I'll say why the specific kind of backtracking that we see here. So the I want to say the middle of my path here is my brokenness, and in that brokenness, I have often felt there was an element of literal death present in that event, that a part of me died. And I was right about that, but I think I was wrong about what part it was and what happened to the different parts. Basically, I'm comprised of two parts. There's my green body and my purple body. My purple body is the youth, is the one that I was born into. It's what I'm making of myself while I'm here on Earth, because I'm creating purple where previously it's just red and blue. It is, God insists that it is the, what's the word? That it's dominant. And my green body is what's capable of magic, what is my addiction, what my current physical body is a manifestation of. I'm in like the past, 9 years or 10 years I've been in a alternate body, which is not worth explaining here, but it shows that just what a big deal brokenness is. I forgot to mention I had the quip that if that thing with the dates and brokenness didn't convince me of numerology, the truth of numerology, like nothing else could. That was my thinking. So anyway, so I like to think that green is a lot more fun, and I think it's pretty much true. But it's also the source of everything that's wrong in my life. So I thought that so in my brokenness, my purple body, which is synonymous with my inner child, um, my purple body was lost. Lost in the sense of misplaced, laid aside, and in a dark place. Not a like emotionally dark place, just a physically dark place. And I've come to understand that he's on the inside of a singularity. He didn't die, but he fell through the singularity that I rent in myself, and has just been trapped, cocooned, kind of, in there. And I don't perceive him as me, I perceive him as a third person thing. And I don't perceive a whole lot either. It's just feelings and impulses, like what he wants, or if he's scared, some basic how he's doing kind of thing that I'll be let know of. So so basically, what I'm getting at is that here I'm at my brokenness. I sort of thought that the part that died was the part that was lost, but that's not the case. The part that died was the part that remained, and that became my new self, the new dominant, unmarked thing that I am, that I was. So the moment of my brokenness is the moment of the start of my addiction. It's when I first got carved up like a spiral. When I first when I was all slivered apart into loops. It 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 killed my green body, but I didn't really know that, because I was still able to, and still am able to perceive the green body as whole when I'm high. So, and then at the next point here, it got even worse. Like, it got crazy bad. Like, it was already dead here, but like by there, it was just cataclysmic, and it affected um, more than it affected a lot of things. That's how I became a highly sensitive person, which is a troubling thing to be, and or an empath. So anyway, so Green was dead and got deader. When, let's see, so right now we're in my fifth septariad. A lot of stuff's going to happen that is outside the scope of this video to discuss in the next 5.5 years, the rest of this one septariad. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that my brokenness is fully done, healed, made whole again by the end of this septariad. So my green body will no longer be carved up in spirals and, riddled with lacerations. So also, at the end of this septariad is when I become the youth, when I switch to being only my purple body. And I'm not 100% on how to describe what will happen to the green body, but I know basically that green body is becoming fiveness, or working to create fiveness. And it's actually, even though purple is on the outside of green and is slightly bigger during the period in question at the end of this period, even so, it's actually much, much bigger than purple. It's of greater dimensionality. I feel like this is running on a little. I want to hurry up. So basically, my inner child, which I sometimes think of just as my soul, because that's what it feels like, will be rescued, saved from the end of time, where he's been stranded and held captive. Again, I'm not going to get into those things, but when I so basically, through the fourth and fifth septariads, my green body is doing all the living, even though it's dead, and my purple body is nowhere to be found. So you could say there's a void left where purple ought to be through all of that time. It's not interacting with me. It's not sustained over time, the presence of my purple body. And so all through this, here I start off as at birth, and 7, to puberty in here, 14. I have my whole self with me until this point where my brokenness splits myself. And at that point, I'm living only like 2/3 of a life during these two septariads. So the reason that these two backtrack is to fill in that gap retroactively, to provide the purple body lived experience. And the other reason is that it's I need to take actions that affect the past from the future. I need to act backwardly in time to and it's hard to complete so that everything that's caused to happen during these two septariads of unwholeness and only green, that everything that happens there needs to be caused both by the past actions in the ordinary way time works, but also in future actions. And it's all working in concert, and I need to put in the work that will fill the gaps, whether they be future or past, to support the cosmic transitions that are going on during these things, because a lot's going on besides just my addiction. A lot's going on that I've seen a lot of evidence from the future, but I have to put in the work on the past side now. So that's what the recovery part's about. Okay, I think I'm done. Yeah, thank God. Okay. Okay. Bye.